Here I am at Epic Autos in the cheapest way to rev over 8,000. Oh, you can't even see it. They're electroluminescent gauges. But yeah, some Matrix XRS. The one that revs to 8,400 with 6-speed. One owner. It's awesome. Driving this all the way back to Utah, so trip report incoming. Man, this is cool. All right, 6-speed. There, that's what we're looking for. Revs to 8,400 RPM. 2ZZ. It's got the sunroof. It's got trim everywhere that God knows what is going on here. The bottom line is this is so rare and so cool. What more could I ask for? So what's it like driving one of the rarest cars left on the road? An unmolested Matrix XRS. Or actually any XRS. A Corolla, Vibe GT. Well, it's not warmed up yet, so I won't be hitting lift yet, but this thing was very well maintained. Had the clutch done recently. The air compressor done, shocks done, good tires. Literally one owner, a school teacher. Apparently the lady was a 6'2" school teacher who owned it. And this was one of the cars she fit in. She wanted something that sat up a little higher. She didn't want anything, you know. We're in Colorado here, you know. You need something a little utilitarian. So, yeah, the seating position is great. It's very upright in this. It's not great for, you know, being sporty, but it's not unlike an SUV. Shifter's tight. I mean, it's very notchy. It's that Toyota classic, you know, notchy. No one's gonna mistake this thing for a Civic Si. But man, this thing shifts great. I can't believe it. I have been looking for a Matrix XRS for many, many years. These things simply do not exist. Holy crap, another 2ZZ buddy. What are the chances? A GTS Corolla. He might appreciate this. I mean, the leather's still soft on the wheel. The seats still have support. This is crazy. It's like a time machine to 2004. You probably noticed you have to shift this thing really fast. They have incredibly light flywheels. But yeah, I am very excited. It's got some dings and some scratches, but one owner, XRS Matrix. I'm driving this thing back to Utah. So, yeah, I am very excited. Let's see if the Celica guy recognizes. Let's see if he knows. Let's see if he knows. He doesn't know. That's okay. Nobody knows. Nobody knows these things exist. Because in all fairness, they really don't exist. Finding one in this condition is impossible. Man, I don't know what people are talking about. They say these things have no torque, and the 2ZZ is pathetic. I'm keeping up with traffic, no problem. I'm already in 6, but still, I mean, oh man. So I'm going to give you guys a tour and show you all the really cool stuff about this, but I am just so excited to be back in a high lift, crossover cam, you know, VTEC style vehicle. My first car was a 95 Prelude. I love that thing to death. I had an MR2 Spider that I always wanted to put this engine in. Never did. I had an MR2 Spider with this engine, but it was a rough car. So I had a green MR2 Spider that I wanted to put this engine in that was in very good shape, and I never did. I always regretted it, and I said, man, I want another 2ZZ. I want that high revving, screaming engine. They're just so cool, and I can't believe I'm in another one. So I'll give you guys a whole tour, and we have 500 miles of driving over those mountains across I-70. So we're gonna get to know this car real well over the next day and a half. So some initial driving impressions. It started raining and you know, getting a ton of wind as it tends to in Colorado, but climbing I-70 here, I am in 5th. It will not climb it in 6th, and I have had to drop to 4th a couple times. Torque is definitely not the strong suit of the 2ZZ. It's kind of interesting. In a MR2 or a Celica, you know, you don't really notice the lack of torque, but the Matrix is not light. So like here, I'm in 5th right now. I could obviously put it in 6th, but the next hill I'm gonna have to drop back to 5th anyway. So, but with that being said, the shifter is a joy to use. I mean, it's right at it comes right out of the dash, like a Civic Si did of these years as well, and it falls right to hand. So, you know, you got your elbow on the armrest here, and the shifter is literally right in your hand. It's great. The shifter placement is great. But yeah, see, climbing up this hill, I didn't want to have to downshift and screw with it again. So, yeah, we'll put it in 6th now that we're going downhill. So yeah, 6th, I mean, yeah, 3,000 RPM at 70 miles an hour is not low, but then again, it revs to 8,400, so it's relatively low. And this thing cruises down the road great. I mean, look, there's a normal Corolla. That's what this is. It's a, you know, when it's not on the hot cab, it's just a Toyota Corolla. I really like the seating position, though. You can probably see your legs drop down. It reminds me a lot of the Tracker, honestly, the seating position where you kind of, you know, you kind of raise your leg and go on top of the pedals like a truck or a cab over. If you ever had a Toyota van or a Volkswagen cab over van or one of those really cool trucks, yeah, that's kind of what the seating position is like. Visibility is excellent in all directions. I mean, I guess there's technically a small blind spot in the back, but yeah, visibility's great. Cruising down the road in 6th, no issues. This thing had the air conditioner compressor replaced, had the clutch replaced, has relatively new tires. Yeah, old lady just wanted something a little bit different because it does leak a little bit of oil out of the timing chain cover, and that is about a $2,000 job to fix. Let me give you a little hint. They all leak oil out of the timing chain cover. It's not even worth fixing. I'm going to throw some silicone on it and call it a day, honestly. I'm not going to... You essentially, you almost have to pull the engine to fix it. It doesn't drip. It's a very minor, slow leak. So she traded it in. It's got a couple other, you know, leaks and quirks and weird things, but overall, I am very happy with this thing. You never see them in this condition. There's still leather on the steering wheel. It's normally completely gone. This isn't all scratched up. I mean, the chrome is starting to get to where it's going to peel, but normally this is scratched 17 different ways. The dash is cracked. The seats don't look anything like this. Overall, very impressed with this car and the condition, and I couldn't be happier. This is an awesome daily driver. I just still can't believe I found an XRS. John's going to know exactly what this car is when he sees it. John and I, John drives anything. You got to go watch his channel. He's got some really cool stuff. and I love his sense of humor and personality. But him and I share a passion for high revving Japanese 4-cylinders, and it doesn't get any higher revving than this, unless you get an S2000. Yeah, seeing over 8 on the tack, you're either in a GT3, a GT4 RS, or you're in a 2004 Matrix XRS. Yeah. The payment on one of those cars is probably about what I paid for this whole car. Made it to the Eisenhower tunnel. I was gonna crack lift in here, but that ain't happening. Man, these gauges are cool. It has these like electroluminescent gauges. Gotta clean that spot right there. That's gonna drive me crazy. Right on the 5 and the 4. But yeah, pretty cool. So 04 to I guess 07 Matrix. I think they actually made this body style until 08, but they stopped the XRS in 2005 in the Matrix, and then they gave it to the Corolla. So the Corolla came as an XRS in 05 and 06. I think the Matrix XRS was only 03 to 05. Maybe 06? I don't know, but it's irrelevant. They don't exist anymore. It's just crazy. So I'm not gonna do a review on the power until I'm at a somewhat decent elevation. But remember, even in Salt Lake, I'm 5,000 feet above sea level, so this isn't gonna have the full amount of power that it would if I was down at the coast. With that being said, as long as this thing does well, I'm gonna drive this thing to California soon. So I am crazy. Yeah, 5th gear does really well coming down. Going west down I-70 out of the Eisenhower tunnel. 5th, I'm not hitting the brakes, not hitting the gas. Just listening to the sweet hum of a 2ZZ. The handling is actually really surprising too. The initial turn-in is really quick, and I know it's not the most technical solution. Twist, what do they call it? Torsion beam rear. Twist beam too. That's what I refer to it as. It's basically like a solid rear axle, but yeah, it's not the most technical. And on a racetrack or when really pushing it, it's going to show its limitations. But that stiffness, it feels good. Yeah, it's just fun to drive. And it's surprising because as fun to drive as this thing is, it can also be very normal here. So let me just drop it in 6th here. And now we're just in a normal car. We're in a Corolla. If you didn't know any better, you'd think you were just in a Corolla. Obviously, the seat's way jacked up, though. The roofline is 6 inches higher in this than a Corolla, and the seat is definitely 6 inches higher, too. The seating position is definitely crossover, van, truck. It is not a car seating position. And a lot of people don't like the seating position. A lot of people complained about this when it was new. I love it personally, though. I find this upright seating position a lot more comfortable. It's kind of funny. Toyota refused to call the Matrix a station wagon. They were referring to it as either a crossover or a sport activity. I forget. Well, we'll see. I have the owner's manual. It'll give me the exact verbiage of what they were trying to call it. But yeah, they didn't want to call it a wagon, and I get why they didn't. I mean, it is a wagon, but kind of more of a hatchback. But it's funky because you do sit up tall. Heck, whatever. I love it. All right, couple other interesting things. Reverse on this. So you notice it's next to first, right? You got to go way over. Way over. And then it beeps to let you know because it is right next to first. I guess people were having issues with these where they would jam them in reverse when they did not intend to. That is funny. What a hell of a beeper. Like I'm driving a big rig. It's a Corolla. Yeah, see, back into first. No big deal, but I think that's hilarious. All right, let's watch this again. I love that. So then reverse, and there's first. So I mean, they are relatively close. First, reverse. Let's leave it in first. Shut it down here. So couple really interesting things. One, the step-in height, right? So I had a Scion XB, and this is very similar to that, where the step-in height is just perfect. So you get out and you're right on the ground. It is the easiest car to get in and out of. So yeah, give you guys a little closer exterior tour. I might want to look at that. That fender liner is, well, it's already worn through, so. Well, sayonara to that fender liner. But yeah, the ground effects are gone a little bit. This one's fallen off pretty good. A little bit of rust starting right there, nothing major. And yeah, that's chicken wired on, so I'm definitely gonna have to reattach that. But overall, it is stock. The paint still has clear coat. Most important part right there. That is the factory exhaust. Looks aftermarket, sounds aftermarket. It's factory. Sunroof was an option on these. Not all of them had a sunroof. These wheels are hideous. I'm definitely replacing them. But yeah. Oh man. I can't believe this is my vehicle. I just still can't believe I found an XRS. So yeah, this thing was very well kept. Not all scratched up. Still has the original floor mats. It's really cool. 2 different kinds of floor mats. Love that. Oh, there's a cargo cover for the back. Cool. I was wondering where that was. See, that kind of clips on these hooks here? That is sweet. Then it goes off to the side. Got the cargo cover. In terms of utility, these seats fold completely flat. Flat load floor. And under here is all rubberized with a cleat tie-down system. Really cool stuff. Yeah, tons of cargo space. Another really cool thing about a Matrix that not everybody knows is the rear glass opens. Hold this button and the rear glass opens independent. So when you're backed up to a spot like I am here, just need to grab something quick and just open the rear glass. That is cool. The coolness doesn't stop there with these. I mean, first off, there's a ton of space in here. There's definitely more. I think the wheelbase is the same, but maybe it's just the high roof line. There's way more space than a normal Corolla in here. That seat's all the way back and I still fit. And yeah, there's that flat load floor. Kind of interesting, no center armrest, but yeah, flat load floor, still a ton of headroom, even with the sunroof. But this is really cool. So I've got some stuff there, so I'm not gonna fold it all the way, but this folds flat. So you can carry extra long items, even stick them out the back window. Or what I'm going to use this for is when I'm on the road, I'm going to use this as a, I get on my laptop all the time for work. I now have a workstation. This is perfect. It's like a pickup truck. It's awesome. So let's bring it back up here. And you just one lever. It's going to be hard to do with one hand. Hang on. You just hit this one lever. There's one on this side, one on this side, and the seat's back up. That is a genius idea. Wish more cars had it. These seats are in incredible shape. Like, they're still soft, but they're that, like, super durable Toyota fabric that they've gone away from recently. Yeah, this side's in pretty good shape. Like I said, a couple dings, scratches. Who cares? This is going to be my daily driver. Yeah, this thing's in, all things considered, this thing's in phenomenal shape. And you'll notice the seat's a little stained, but no rips. The foam padding is still in very good shape. Just the normal center console here, but it does open two ways. That's a little loose. They all are. But what can you do? There's another compartment down there, some cup holders, change holder, a power outlet. Yeah, you heard that correctly. This has a power outlet. What a great idea. Why don't more cars have this? You know what else this has? All the service records. An owner's manual. Incredible. Now I want to check something here. This is, we're doing it live. I want to see if this seat does what my Scion seat did, where it does not. Okay. In my Scion XB, this seat could fold flat. It is similar to a Honda Fit, or an Element does it too, where the front seat could fold into the back seat to turn this into a lounge chair. That's okay. In all honesty, as cool as that is, I used it like 3 times. This seat folding flat, I'm going to use far more often. So yeah, that's a quick little tour of the Matrix. I'll get some videos up of me hitting lift and continuing the road trip. Man, I'm so excited. 8,400 RPM in the most unassuming vehicle ever. A Toyota Matrix XRS. But yeah, watch how quick the revs just... And it progressively builds power. I mean, it really is like 2 different engines. It makes, it's a Corolla until 6,500 RPM. So that's an interesting thing on these. The lift point where, for lack of a better term, it's when it switches over to a different cam profile, but on the intake and exhaust, very similar to VTEC in a Honda. So initially it was 6,000 on these, and then Toyota raised it up to 6,200 in 2003 on the Matrix. Then they raised it to 6,500 in 2004, which is what this is. And then they raised it to 6,700 later. It's crazy, but... Wasn't trying to break any speed record shifting, nor did I take it all the way to the red line. But damn, does that sound cool.